Good morning, everyone. It is 5:30 and I am headed to New York. So excited. So I am headed out to New York, and great thing about traveling. One day I was online and I was bored because it was like 3 a.m. or something. So I'm like, let's look at random flights. And I looked up a trip to New York. And just by accident, I ended up clicking the iSlip little dot on Google Flights. It cost me, well, my dad, because he paid for it. Thank you, Dad. It cost $54 to fly round trip for me from MCO to iSlip. I'm only going for a couple days, but still, that's awesome. When I told my dad how much the flight would be, he goes, "Is there going to be a pilot?" So that was pretty funny. But yeah, so I'm headed out. My flight is doors close at 7:05, and boarding starts at 6:40. And I'm pre-check, so getting here at like 6 is perfect. Alrighty, so before I start heading in, let me give you guys a little MCO tip, because I know most of you traveling here are going to be traveling to and from Disney using MCO. So MCO has 2 checkpoints. They're 1 to 59, and then they have gates 70 to 129. Now, it's very important that you know that there are 2 separate sides. Now, that's not A side, B side. That's gates 1 to 59 and gates 70 to 129. The reason why I say that is because in MCO, as opposed to different airports, terminal doesn't mean anything unless you are checking your bags. So if you're checking your bags, then yes, you'll be looking for the A or B side. But when you are actually going to your plane, be mindful of which gate you're going to. So you have down there is gates 70 to 129, and here are the 1 to 59 gates. Now, once you get into the checkpoints, once you go through security, there's going to be 2 trains for both sides. Now, currently, that's all they have. In 2020, it might be different because they are coming out with another terminal. So right now, there's 2 trains to get into the gates. So once you go out of the checkpoint, you go to the gates. Look on the top of the train and see which gates they're going to, because one will go from 1 to 29 and the other one will go 30 to 59, and same thing on the other side. I believe it's 70 to 99 and 100 to 129. So be mindful of what trains you're getting on and which checkpoints you're going to, because that is a big thing. Okay, you got to know where you're going. Read signs. Always read the signs in the airport. So right now I am going to be going through the PreCheck line because I am TSA PreCheck. Now, if you don't know what PreCheck is, it is a program that you could enter to have access to expedited screening. Now, that means that you have the ability to not take off your shoes, not take your laptops out of your bags, your large liquids, you can keep on light jackets. So it's most of the time those lines are faster. Now, once you sign up for PreCheck, it's not, 1, guaranteed that you'll get it. 2, it's also not guaranteed all the time. So say you fly 10 times, you'll get it maybe 9 out of 10 times. And it says that on the contract. So if you are signing up for PreCheck, it is not a, oh my God, all the time I'm going through the faster line. It's check it out. You can have this option, but the $85 that you spend is on the background check. It is not to go through the faster lane. So also, not all airlines do it. So my packing tip is, 1, we're going to the airport and you're PreCheck, is wear shoes that you know don't have a metal shank in them, or the ones that don't have metal. If you have on flip-flops or things like that, that's fine. Also, put everything inside your backpack. Everything. Just make sure there's no drinks in your bags. Everything could go inside your backpacks, your phones, your boarding passes, your IDs, everything could go inside your backpack, because literally all you'll have to do is put your bag on the belt send it in, and you pick it up on the other side. That's it. If you have more than one laptop, ask the TSA for a bin, because that will save you a whole lot of time. Alrighty, so I am headed in because my arm is starting to hurt, but I will talk to you guys about regular screening option when I get to the other side. Alrighty, so I'm already done. It took me like a minute. So as I said, remember there is one train set that goes that way and one train set that goes this way, and we are going this way. So you see on the top it says all the different airlines. Remember that even if you don't know your gate, you could check your airline here. So when I went through, even though it literally took about a minute to come through, I was chosen for additional screening, which I had a feeling that was going to happen. So make sure everything's out of your pockets. Make sure that, just make sure everything's out of your pockets, because the more stuff you have in your pockets, more opportunity you get to be patted down. But it's so quick. Also, one thing you might want to know is if you get on the tram for the gates 1 to 29 and you are not on the 1 to 29 side, you're going to have to come through security again if you are on the other set of gates. So if you want to go to like Starbucks or Kids World, whatever it is, on this side, give yourself time because you're going to have to come back around. It is now 6 o'clock. Yeah, it's just about 6 o'clock, and I am already through security on my side of the terminal, the airport, and I'm debating on if I should get Starbucks or if I should just be sleepy and just sleep on the plane. I am very happy I got a window seat. Alrighty, so while I have some time, let's talk about airport security. Now, so for airport security, there's a couple of different things that you could do yourself in order to keep yourself from waiting on huge lines or expediting your own process while waiting on a line. Now, there are airports like Orlando, JFK, LAX that are just such big airports. You're pretty much guaranteed to be in a pretty big line because they're so busy. Now, there are certain times of day you could go to the airports that are a little bit less busy than others, but most of the time, those are the times that people don't usually travel because they're either really late or really early, anything like that. Now, in terms of what you could do, let's talk about the main things. Now, when you get to the airport, the most easy thing to do is make sure you pack correctly. So if you have 2-3 iPads, take 1 or 2 of them out. Yes, right now you do not have to remove your iPads to come through security. However, if you have 2 or 3 of them, it'll alleviate the clutter, the craziness that might be in your bag that the TSA officer is going to have to pull the bag and check it. Or, take the laptop, take the iPads out themselves and then rerun your bag. So if you have 2 or 3 of them, because your family, you have a big family, and you have a couple of them, definitely take those out. Another thing I would suggest is to any of your Disney candy. So if you have Disney candy, Disney treats, take those and put them to the side when you're packing. So put them in a separate bag. If you're going to Disney, ask them for one of those to-go bags, or even just a regular Disney bag, because all of your candy and all of your treats may end up being pulled by the TSA because they're just going to look at it and make sure it actually is candy. So that's another thing. You could take that and put it to the side. If you're going to have a lot of candy and a lot of treats, because I know for Disney, if you have extra snack credits, those are some of the things you could use it on. Definitely put those items in a bag by themselves and put them in a tray. Make sure there's no drinks in your bags. I know you've been walking around the parks or walking around Florida and everybody has to stay hydrated, but make sure before you go in to the airport, you've already finished your drinks. Now that includes the drinks that you may have had in your resort mugs, because your resort mugs are also containers for liquids, and if you have any liquid in it and you want to keep those resort mugs for souvenirs, you have to make sure they're empty. Otherwise, you're gonna have to go all the way outside of the checkpoint and come all the way back in, and nobody wants to do that. If you are over the age of 12, your shoes are coming off. So don't even ask if a flip-flop is a shoe. It is. So if you're over the age of 12, your shoes come off. Kids 12 and under can keep their shoes on, including adults 75 and older. Now, when they say all laptops come out of your bag, that's not only laptops, that's all laptop-sized items. And that is also listed on the TSA website as to their size reference. But pretty much assume that if you have a Surface or a laptop or a PlayStation, an Xbox, a super large electronic, like one day there was a lady with a Roomba. So if you have one of those, take that out of your bag. So anything that size, just take it out, put it in a tray by itself. Don't put anything on top of your electronics. Do not put your bag that the laptop came out of back on top of the laptop. That'll look exactly the same as if you never took it out. Don't put your shoes back on top. Don't put your phone or any other things on top, because that's more likely that you will be pulled to the that your bag will be pulled to the side by an officer. Now, when I say pulled to the side, when you go through security, most airports that I've seen have a side roller. That side roller is where they take your bag and they put it to the side for it to be checked. Now, they aren't going to necessarily tell you that your bag is there, but there is usually a glass where you could see your bag. Don't freak out. Don't try to come around the plexiglass or anything like that. Your bag will be checked. You just have to wait for the officers to check that bag. Now, in terms of your lines and your wait times, people in front of you aren't always going to be on the same page in terms of being prepared. So you might have that family who literally has a bottle of water in every single one of their bags. That's going to hold up the line, but you don't want to be one of those people who hold up the line nor hold up yourself. So if you have a water bottle in your bag and you're behind that family who has a water bottle in every single one of their bags, you're just going to have to wait even longer. So make sure that you do not have any drinks in your bags, and that also includes sunscreen. So that also includes any large liquids, gels, aerosols, paste, and lotion. So if you have the spray-on sunscreen, make sure it's not in your bag when you come to the airport, because even though you may think that there's nothing in it, there may still be stuff in it. So the spray-on sunscreen, that's an aerosol. Make sure it's not over 3.4 ounces. If you have Nutella, peanut butter, that cannot come on your carry-on luggage. Now, all the things I'm telling you are about your carry-on. In your checked luggage, you can put whatever you want, pretty much. There are certain exclusions for hazmat, but I would check the website for that. But like your large shampoos and things like that, you could definitely have those in there. So just keep in mind that all the things I'm telling you is about your carry-on luggage. If you went to Disney and you got a popcorn bucket and you still have popcorn in your bucket, close that up somehow. So whether it be in a bag or something else, just don't put the bucket in a bin or just on the rollers, because it is very likely that that popcorn bucket is just going to pop open and you're going to lose all your popcorn anyway. So anyway, let's head over to the gates and we'll talk a little bit more about security. I decided that I am not going to Starbucks. I'm just going to stay tired because I think I'm going to nap on the plane. I cannot wait to see the size of this plane, because the holding area is like 50 chairs. Alright, so this is going to be my last bit about security. If you're going through standard screening, when the officer says, make sure there's nothing in your pockets, nothing does not mean only things you think they are. It means everything. So it's paper, little pieces of lint, a single penny, a piece, your boarding pass, things like that. So it's not just metal things, it's everything. So take all your stuff from your pockets, put it in your bag, because unless you want to be patted down, put it in your bag. Alrighty, so it's that time. We are boarding. So I will see you in the sky. It doesn't look like there are many people on this flight at all. So I'm thinking that this is like a really good, I might just take this to New York more often. Alright, let's see, 28. I don't know if it's the cheaper airlines, but one thing I noticed about the seats is that they're just regular seats. They're not like cushioned, and like their tray tables are a little weird. So we landed, and so far this is a very small airport. I've never been here before. They mentioned that this is a brand new route, so that might be why the flight was so cheap. If that's the case, then it's probably kind of like, oh yeah, check out this route. Now, you know, you're gonna want to go on it, but we'll see. Because if it's this cheap all the time, I'll probably take this route more often. Just to give you an idea of how big this airport is, it's not, but it's cute. I've never been to an airport this tiny. So it looks like nothing's really open yet. Looks like Southwest is mostly here. We got some more on the side. This is pretty cool. 103.9 FM is, I guess, done here. So it's a Long Island radio station. That's kind of cool. One thing I never really got when I was in New York is brochures, because I lived here. So it's like, maybe I should pick some up. Ooh, this place here is amazing. I stayed here on my wedding night. They have a great bar, and it was close to my place for my wedding. So the rooms are gorgeous, and we actually got that. That's how they did our tub when we got there. We had champagne, and the shower that's right over here, my husband was able to run back and forth in it. I'm going to head outside and wait for my dad, and I'll show you what the pickup area looks like, because it's kind of small too. Looks like people are waiting inside. I don't know if it's because you're not allowed to be outside, or if it's because it's cold or windy. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe just windy? Oh no, it's not even windy. It feels beautiful out. I don't know if it's just me, or when I'm in Florida, I like to look at the license plates, and I see the New York license plates, and I'm like, yay, New York! And now I'm here, and I'm like, oh my god, New York, New York, New York, and I forget I'm in New York. So this is pretty much the pickup area. That's about it. Alrighty, so as of right now, I am just waiting for my dad to come pick me up, and then I'll probably be spending the rest of the day with my family. I don't think I'll be recording too much more today, but this video will go up tonight because it's mostly going to be about the airport and airport security and things like that, that I think will be pretty informative to you. If you have any airport security questions, if you have any airport MCO questions, definitely leave it in the comments below. I answer pretty quickly, and I have a pretty decent knowledge of both of those topics. So leave it in the comments and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Also, this is not an invitation to bash airport security. So if you have any of those comments, I will be deleting them. I apologize that, it's not something I usually do with my comments unless it's spam. But I do not want to make this a political or hate video. It's just basically an informative video to give you guys the ability to progress through security a little bit better and to have a better trip. So, as I said, leave those questions in the comments section down below, and if you have anything good to say, of course I love that, but no hateful comments, no political nonsense. So just and also subscribe, because one day I will be doing this whole big airport video in terms of how to get around the airport and things like that. I give you a little bit of a taste of that in this video, but there'll be a better one. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.